on, everybody? My name is AJ Capasso. I am host of Talking with the Source, and you just made me laugh hysterically in my head because you did that little freak out face, and I almost stopped what I was going to say because I didn't know what you were about to do. But anyway, besides that point, please introduce yourself now that you screwed me all up.
No, man. Welcome to Talking with the Source. I'm the JK47 Paranormal, Jonathan Keyworth, and I just try to mess them up every time before we start.
And it works.
Do whatever I can.
I'm going to take you off the screen. I swear to God next time because I can't do it.
Hey, my hands are up, man. I'm in your possession.
Right? No, but anyway, I wanted to bring on an amazing guest today. Unfortunately, we couldn't get both of them on, but we have some amazing evidence we're going to show, and we're going to talk about some amazing things. So I want to bring forth Melissa from Rootless Destinations.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming on. How have you been?
I'm well, thank you. I'm sorry Heidi couldn't be here, but she's making some money today.
That's all right. You got to make the money, you know. First thing I wanted to ask you was, since the last time we talked, I know you guys have been on some investigations. Can you tell me maybe what is one of your most memorable since the last time we talked?
Well, I will tell you this, and it was unexpected. We went and did an investigation at a one-story nursing home, and it had been closed for years. And a friend of ours told us about it. So we went to go check it out. We cleared the building during the day, and then we went back at night, and unexpectedly, the thing was pretty damn haunted. She and I, we got sick. I caught an apparition. Heidi was touched. Wow. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So they've given us another location, and I think it's another nursing home, and that's where we are going to go next weekend.
You know, it always shocks me that, you know, these nursing homes, I hear so many stories about nursing homes, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it truly does. I mean, there are a lot of families that do just leave their loved ones in there, and that's where they know, and that's probably where they come back to visit, or they are stuck. And it's just so sad. It's so sad to think of, you know, like if my grandparents were stuck somewhere, like I would be the first one. That'd be like if like a child was stuck somewhere. Wouldn't you want to help it? You know, it's like,
yes,
it's so sad.
Yes, I would.
But I totally understand why. But I hear so many stories lately about nursing homes. So it's amazing that you are getting into those places. Up here, I don't know any that we have. So I got to look into it, though, because they are most active. And if I can go in there and help them, maybe in some way, some form, crossover like we have in the past, me and John. I mean, I'd love to do such a thing to help them, you know. But anyway,
well, think about it, dude. When some of the best activity that you've got is at cemeteries, and they've been there for years and years and years. I mean, the living versus death aspect of the equation, I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying, you know, when you go to the cemeteries, you get just as much, you know, as somebody passing, you know?
Yeah,
what I was told.
We do cemeteries too.
Yeah, please explain on your experience, because what I was going to say was my experience, what they've told me was they go there to visit, like that's where they gather. Like this is what I was told through a spirit box at the cemetery that I live next to. It's a 1700s grave, and they told me that this is where they meet up as a family, technically, or like all the old.
Oh, like, wow, that is so cool! You caught that.
Yeah, it was really wild, and we did it on a live. Me and John, we caught a couple wild things that night. But tell me your experience with cemeteries. You guys take some amazing photos at these cemeteries. Please talk a little bit about it.
We don't investigate very many, just because we kind of feel like we might be disturbing them.
Yes. Yes.
So the only time that you'll see us doing it is if we've walked the cemetery and we just have like, dude, we got to come investigate here, because you get, you know, weird vibes, or maybe you hear something, or so we'll go back and investigate. There is one cemetery that we've been back to several times. We don't always catch a lot of evidence there, but we do get some communication, and we've caught some light anomalies. So, I mean, it just really depends on the cemetery and the person that's going in there, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, I always go in with respect, always, no matter where I
Oh,
go. So,
absolutely.
yeah, you always
That's
have
the
to.
way I always thought was your intention. Like, what's your intention
Yeah.
in this place? Even if it's like a bar, if your intentions go to drink and get messed up, that can lead to other things. But if
Right.
your intentions are to just go have a good time, then that leads to other things. It's all in
Yes.
your intention.
I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree too. And it's all about that respect. And you don't see a lot of people sometimes doing it. You see people doing the provoking, thinking that that's
Yeah,
going
I
to
Yeah.
don't
help. And
agree with that.
you know, one thing that I've caught on the spirit box at a cemetery was that there's these guardians, and these guardians like really are very serious. And sometimes they're in the form of what we would look like Egyptian dogs would look like, is what I've gotten through the spirit box before, which I thought was pretty wild to think about dogs guarding a cemetery because it would make sense in our day and age. What would you put to guard something? You would put
Right.
something ferocious like a dog, or at least I would. I'd put German shepherds or like some pit bulls or something. So
And is
it's
it
pretty.
Like a hellhound.
right?
Yeah,
And
like
is it a spirit? Is the dog of human spirit, or is it an elemental? Is it a fae? I mean, a lot of people
yeah,
believe in these kind of things.
yeah.
So that's kind of interesting
So
that
tell
you
me,
got that.
do you guys believe in like the elemental side as well? Because this is something that I've always wanted to talk to paranormal investigators about. Not that I have a hard time with it, but I do believe that there is nature type spirit. But what do you
Right.
guys believe? What is your belief on it?
I don't think Heidi believes as much as I do. But I do believe in the elementals. I do believe that there are other spirits, other creatures, other entities here with us. I don't believe it's just of human spirit. There
Yeah,
are protectors, like you say, and in my opinion, I think that that's what they are.
yeah. No, absolutely. I believe so too. We hear a lot of things, like, all these things from fairies to,
Right.
all different types of elementals from water to fire type of elementals. And I totally agree with all that. I mean, think about how many dimensions much must be sitting on top of us, on top of each other
Yes.
that are crossing over, at each time. So it's so wild to think about all these different entities, what they can look like.
Hmm.
One thing I got through the spirit box one time was my dad came through and he spoke about angels, and he said that I asked him what they look like, and he said they can look like anything they want. Some are scary, some are, like intimidating. And to my father, for him to say intimidating, that's pretty intense for me because my father was not the type of person to be intimidated by somebody. And if you know my backstory, which one day I'll talk to you about it, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, now I understand. But it's wild to hear him say that, and it's so crazy when we talk about elementals and stuff, how many different entities could be around us.
Oh yeah,
So that's
yeah.
interesting.
I just and it wasn't intentionally. I wasn't going to put it out on my channel, but a girlfriend of mine is big time into Fae and elementals, and she's
Mm.
Wicca as well.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so she practices on the white side. So she's just this huge believer in it, as well as deities. She has her protector. So I went with her to a cemetery because she had an experience there. And I was like, well, it's been a while since we got together. I'll come hang out and we'll go check it out together.
Yeah.
The communication we got through the spirit box was very little human spirit, but in my opinion, a lot of fae and whatever may have been with her protector as well. And we
Wow.
caught a lot of cool communication when we went back into the wooded area as well. And they are there to protect that wooded area.
What was
So
it
when
that
you
gave?
when,
Sorry, John.
oh,
Sorry,
I'm
I just have to
sorry.
find this out. I'm sorry, I just have to find this out real quick before you ask your question. What made you feel that it was something different? Like, what was the communication you got that made you feel it was something different?
Um, we got different languages. We got, and then we found out later on that that was probably German. Just, I'd have to go back and look at the footage, but we caught something that made us think it was German. Um,
Wow.
we caught weird things. Like one voice said, "Yes, I'm a fae." The other one said, "I want to wave a wand. Help us with the ritual." Just all kinds of weird stuff like that. And I don't know if that would have happened if I didn't have her with me. You know what I'm saying? She
so
is a
what was the equipment you were using? What was the equipment you were using?
So I just brought a little GoPro, and this was really just for me. And then I brought the SB7, but I didn't bring my speaker, so you couldn't hear it very well.
Yeah.
So she said, "Well, let me use the app on my phone." I said, "Well, she was going live." And I said, "You're going live. Let me go get my phone." And I used Ghost Box.
Ghost Box.
Okay.
I like the necrophonics personally.
I don't use them. I don't use them. The only reason why I downloaded that one was just to check it out.
Yeah.
But I'm more into the radio.
Like in the moment type of stuff. Like, okay, she's gonna be recording. That. Okay.
Yeah. That was the first time I've used it.
Yeah, I've done too. You know, a lot of things that I try to do when I look at apps too, I try to look at the person making it. One, if it is made for the ITC purpose, which there's very few on there that actually are. It's a lot of games and a lot of jokes on there.
Right.
That's why you know, one of the things that I've looked into is the code inside of the necrophonic, and a lot of people who've looked at the code go, "Oh, well, it has a repeating aspect on it," and it has a repeating aspect because the audio clips of phonemes that were put in can't be played for 8 hours long. They're clips and they have to be repeated over. And, you know, people don't understand that, and they don't realize that it's just phonemes. So when you're actually getting these words coming out, something is actually manipulating either the frequency of your device or just the device audio clips itself. Please, John, go ahead and say that, you know, because I know what you're going to say.
No, man. No, I'll vouch personally, dude. Arizona case, Michigan case, the case in Tennessee, I farted and it came out. You farted. And I was like, oh my God, the ghost just said that.
Right. And that's what made this so interesting, is because Anne was real sick and she was in the hospital and she had to have surgery. And it was a life or death kind of thing. And so some of the things coming through the spirit box were like, she was sick. And she still had her hospital band on.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, Anne, they're talking about you. You were sick. And they're like, oh, she's better now. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that whole, I don't think that, it's not something that I would use all the time because I just was never a believer in them. But the whole...
I was never. Ask him.
I'm telling you, that thing was on the spot with everything that was going on.
Yep. No,
ask
I agree.
Him, dude. I never believed in it until he got me to try that one. And
I'll have to try necrophonic and see what I think about it.
Necrophonic's not bad. Another a really good one that is basically like having one of those portal devices in your pocket for your phone. This one has been tested by an Institute of Consciousness and been ran experiments on. It's by Hope Spirit. It's by Hope Paranormal, and it's by Josh Lewis of Hope Paranormal. He made this app. And basically, you release the audio. It has a delay reverse to it. And it's basically all just human speech that are basically reverse gibberish that's all mixed up. So you have no false positives that can come through. So every time you open the gate, a different set of audio clip will come in that's complete gibberish. It's never the same. And you'll open the gate and you'll get complete gibberish. It's hard to get communication through it because it is an ITC device. It's not a game. It actually is a real device. And when you do get it through, like I just got some answers through it, and I have a hard time using it, to be honest. I like my necrophonic. If I'm going to use an app, I'll use that.
Because it's clear when it comes through.
It's not that. The reason being is that you have to open the gate to allow. Appreciate you. You have to open the gate to allow the audio to come out, whereas necrophonic, the audio is constantly coming out. So spirit can, you know, they're whatever, however they connect through thought blocks or, you know, like energy wise, whatever they're doing to our device, it's easier for them on the necrophonic. Whereas on this one, for some people, it's really easy. Like my buddy Steve-O, who's also a host on here, he gets amazing communication with it all the time. So does Josh Lewis.
He gets crazy stuff.
I think it's a matter of what you and spirit get comfortable with when you guys are using it together, like the intention and stuff, like the connection between the two people using the device,
Right. Your location has like everything. So can you tell
everything.
me the name of the app?
I'm sorry. I thought I already said it. It's the
Uh,
HSB-1. It's called
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's called the HSB-1, the Hope Spirit Box-1. So just either type in the Hope Spirit Box or just type in
Okay.
HSB-1. It's free, doesn't cost any money.
Right.
He
Well,
made
those are the
sure
ones
that,
I like. Free.
yes, he's the one. He made
I'm
sure
not
he
paying for
has a
this shit.
no, he has a desktop version that you could do focus sessions with. That you could put the person's picture up on the screen. It records. It does all this amazing stuff that you can pay money to get. But the free version is exactly the same. There's no
Right.
difference. So, but he put it out for everyone for free because he feels that he wants to help the world connect with
Okay.
spirit. So he's not somebody who wants to make money off of this, which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I mean,
So
I think the add-ons are cool if somebody wants to do something that's more, you know, intense or whatever, then that's cool. But I'm not paying for that.
no, I don't blame you. And I don't blame a lot of people because you shouldn't, because a lot of these that are out there, if you don't do your research, you really can get, you know, like ripped off badly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no
Badly.
joke.
Very badly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the SP7 is such a way to go. You know what I mean? Because it's in my opinion, it's not
$40.
undebunkable, but it's undebunkable to me when I'm getting certain things. Like for you guys, when you guys get communication, what's some of the most amazing things you've ever heard?
Oh, well, gosh, you'd have to make me think about that. I don't write all
I
this stuff
know.
down. I don't
Too
know,
much.
really. I
Too
mean, I
much,
get my
right?
name. We get our names. When we did the May Global Ghost Hunt at the Claiborne House, she and I did a double Estes method.
Oh wow.
And I was getting more communication than she was, but they also called my name.
So would you both be asking questions at the same time, or?
We had the owners of the house, we gave them a recorder. And we're like, whenever, just anytime before we go on, ask them questions and just give us back the recorder later. So we ran the recorder.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
most of the stuff that she was asking didn't get answered. But then after, Heidi wasn't getting any communication. So she's like, I'm not getting anything. So she started asking questions, and that's when we started getting the communication, and it was straight on. But most of it was towards me.
Yeah.
So I just had an idea. What if two people did the Estes method, with the headphones on and the blindfolds, and they were sitting across from each other, but two people would tap them rheumatically to respond, to see what would happen as a conversation.
You mean like if somebody was there with you and they would touch you? I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay. So like I'm sitting here, I got my Estes method on, AJ sitting there with his on, but there were two other investigators with you on different sides, and when they felt they had to touch you, that's when you would respond, whatever after, and to see like if you caught communication that way.
And what would they ask though?
Who knows? They could
so they would
like
ask
when they tap them. Maybe when they tap them, ask the question, and then when the other one tapped to see if the response responded with the
I
tap.
kind of get what he's saying. I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
you get what he's saying? Yeah, I get it too.
But don't tap me. I'm like, that kind of startles you.
Yeah, exactly. It does. I was just about to say that. So
I know, because you're so focused on that.
You'd have to run an experiment on that, because that's actually a good idea to try. And because you have more of an idea of what you're talking about than we do. So I would try that, man. Definitely. 100%. Who knows what you can get. The whole point of experimenting is to raise this field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, man.
But Melissa, I wanted to talk to you real quick about this clip we're going to show. It's a bunch of evidence that you guys have put together. Please talk a little bit about it. Hey, Misty, how are you? Please talk a little bit about this clip. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a clip.
No, I want you to talk. I want you to talk about it first. To talk a little bit
I
about
don't
it.
even know what you're showing.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me. I thought you knew.
That
Okay.
man, I haven't even looked at that in so long. That was from May.
This
That's
is way better than the Bronco game.
all of those clips are from the Claiborne house.
Okay, so that's what I was just about to ask you. They're from the Claiborne house. Okay, perfect. So
yeah,
let me put it on the screen and then we'll talk about it. I'm sorry. I did it backwards.
AJ, it's okay, man.
Yeah, I'm like that. People.
No judgment. No judgment.
Hold on. There we go. Let me put it up on here.
Okay, so that's a still camera that's sitting in the room. I don't know.
Here, hold on. I'm starting it from the beginning. I'm going to play it and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, and it's just most of, well, quite a bit of evidence we got. I just wanted to share with y'all so y'all would know what we got when the cameras were off, when the live was gone.
Awesome.
I am Melissa. And I'm Heidi, and we are Rootless Destinations. Thank you for joining us. We are in Jefferson, Texas. It is one of the most haunted towns in Texas.
Get down.
Anywhere you go, you may run across a spirit. Tonight, we are so happy to have you at the Claiborne House. We've been invited by the host and hostess to have our paranormal investigation here. This way?
There we go.
Melissa.
They're saying ready. I don't know if we've started yet. So Heidi can answer first. Hi there. Well, hello. Who is with us tonight? This is I feel like it wants to push me this way. Like it's going this way, almost forward and to the right.
Yeah, I can get that because to me, it's more on my right side.
It is definitely pulling me this way. My right hip is actually hurting me.
Yeah, it's hurting.
It's very painful.
Yeah.
And it's not my normal pain.
No,
either.
this is hurting.
Yes.
And I was like, no, this is different. This isn't my. Ooh. It felt like an ant just.
Do you feel the bed shake?
Yep. What was that?
I saw that.
That flash?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. For everyone watching, just go back, listen with headphones. It's
Yeah,
kind
the
of hard to
headphones
hear
for
on.
sure.
Yeah, headphones for sure to listen to some of the EVPs and stuff. There was one that I heard, the Stop It was really cool because I heard the man say
Yeah.
stop it. That was awesome. I
I got
saw
it going through all 5 of my speakers. I heard it clear. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that location is super cool. That's one of our favorite places to go.
Now, again, I know you told us last time you were here before on Global Ghost Hunt, before it was going to air, a little bit about the Claiborne House. For everyone that's new watching, can you just do a real quick summary of like what the history of the Claiborne House is, so people get a little understanding of why it's haunted?
Okay, sure. Well, I think the hauntings really has to do with the original family. Mr. Claiborne was one of the first to settle in Jefferson, Texas. He was a ship captain. He imported, exported goods. There, it's right on a river. The whole place is surrounded by water. So he was a riverboat captain. His wife died at a young age, and then he also died. He wasn't very old when he died. So his daughter, Lucy, was married by a friend of her father's so that he could take care of her. So that house is the house that he bought Lucy, her husband.
Yeah.
They did have several children, and 2 of them did pass away in the house, and 1 of them did drown in the bathtub. We're not sure about how many deaths happened in the house. We're thinking anywhere between 6 and 10 from the history that we found. I think really just the connection with the home itself and the history that this whole town has, that that's probably why they're still there.
And it makes sense. I mean, it totally makes sense. There's so much trauma in there, so much trauma in that time. Like that's a lot to lose 3 children. I can't imagine losing 1 child. I mean, losing 3 though. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh,
Chris,
there's
thank
Chris.
you so much. Appreciate you, Chris, for coming. I wanted to ask you, with these spirits, when they're speaking through these devices that we have, whether it be a PSP7 or the REM pod or just a regular K2 or EMF, whatever you want to do, how do you think they're connecting with these devices? Like, I know through energy, obviously, but what's your opinion on this? How do you think they're actually connecting?
To be honest with you, I think that every spirit is different. I think that every spirit has their own gift that they were given on how they communicate. Some may be able to touch you, but not be able to speak. Some may be able to touch the devices. Others may just be able to be near them. To be honest with you, I don't have the answer.
No,
I think that every spirit is different.
No, I really like that. And you know what? Everything that we can talk about is really theory because we all won't know until it's our time, obviously. But
the truth.
But,
I'm gonna haunt some bitches.
Right? Hey, I got some people that are gonna be running up some stairs in a dark room at nighttime. All right. So I'm coming back for sure. But yeah, no, you're right though.
As your light flickers in the background.
Right? Watch this.
I hope my gift is to touch someone because I'd rather touch you than talk to you because that'll freak you out. You know what I mean?
Right?
Just flick them in the ear. Keep flicking them in the ear.
Wet Willy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, once an hour, Wet Willy.
Oh. But anyway, besides that, Ashley, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I wanted to say, it's great that we could talk about these theories, though, because, sharing this on this show with multiple different paranormal investigators, bringing all these theories together, like maybe we can get some answers, you know what I mean? And hopefully that we can with all the work that we're putting in. I don't think we'll ever get the full main picture of everything, obviously, but I do feel that we can get something of the sort, You know, what is your
Yeah, I
opinion?
agree. The more that we speak to one another and share some different things that we've experienced or tried, there's going to be all kinds of different things coming out in the near future. I believe that will help us to communicate in different ways.
Yeah.
I
So
truly believe.
so like before I start my sessions and stuff, like I always ask spirit to work as a collaborative, and I wish we could do the same, you know. I
Right.
wish we could all just take the shields down and be like, we're working towards the same goal, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
because there is a whole another universe out there, or whatever you want to call it, you know, in that quantum realm that responds to us and is able to talk to
Hmm.
us. So
Now, I wanted to ask you this year's Global Ghost Hunt, you guys are being a part of. Now, I want to let you know that you guys were the first team ever to join Global Ghost Hunt. It's down in the history books. Ever to do
nice.
so. From everyone at Global Ghost Hunt that's not here right now, including Brian, including everyone, I want to personally say, as one of the admin team members, I want to thank you guys because you guys paved the way
Yeah,
for
good
other
job.
teams to join. So thank you. But please talk about this, coming event in just a couple weeks. Where are you going? History. Please tell us. What's up?
Okay. So we are going to Presidio La Bahia, and that is originally it was a Catholic mission. So you'll have clergy there, you'll have nuns there. What happened during that time is that mission was on Mexican territory. So Mexico and Texas fought for Texas to be independent from them.
Mm.
So during this time when these battles are going on, you've got, I don't know if you're real familiar with Texas history, but you've got the Alamo, you've got San Jacinto, you've got Goliad, you've got all of these different battles that were going on to fight for Texas to be independent.
Wow.
So on this site at this mission is where what they call them, Texian men were actually captured by the Mexican army, and they were put in that what they would then call a fort. They were captured, and
Wow.
so on that land, it gets to me. I'm sorry. On that land, they killed every one of those guys while their captain watched.
Oh my God.
So there's also 13 bodies buried on property, with only I think two or three marked.
Wow.
And the mass burial of these men is right around the corner.
Wow, that is so crazy. I mean, no, I don't know a lot of Texan history. I do a lot of ancient history stuff. I don't do a lot of U.S. history personally, unless I'm, obviously out of sight and I'm going to investigate.
Right, or your own state,
Yeah,
your
yeah, of course,
own
of course.
country.
Yeah. I mean, I know a little bit, but I don't know what you just told me. I never heard that story before, so I never heard that fact before about history. That is a very crazy and sad thing, but that active location's got to be. I mean, that location's got to be active. I mean, with the trauma that they suffered, I mean, I'm sure that some of them are still there. Especially like you said, some of them are not even marked their graves.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
That
I
is
would
And
so
this
love to
were
help
all
them
those men
there.
that were
I would love it.
massacred, basically, and placed in a mass grave. That's just. Let me tell y'all, Heidi and I have been to this town on several occasions. We have been to this location probably a handful of times. This will be our second time to actually stay the night there.
Mm.
The first time we ever went to the town just to check out the history and to learn a little more about the battles and everything, we came up on the mass grave. We didn't even know what it was. And I started crying as soon as we got there. She's like, "What the hell is wrong?" I said, "I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so sad right now." She got out and read the historical marker. She's like, "This is why you're sad."
Yeah.
It was insane. So from that day forward, I was like, I'm connected here somehow. So,
Yeah, you're an empath. You
yeah,
feel
it was every time we go there, I get so emotional.
I have a theory, right? What if, right? You're feeling an energy like how you felt the energy, but Heidi didn't feel that energy where you started crying and stuff. not just being an empath, but what if, just a theory, what if in a past life you might have been one of those men or one of the
Right.
females of that
Yeah.
was a wife
Who
of those
knows,
men?
man?
Who knows
Mhm.
why you're crying? You know what I mean? Like that energy, why it affected you and it didn't affect Heidi. I always
Right.
wondered that, you know, like because you said I feel connected to this place.
I
And it's
do.
like
I feel all
wow.
the time. I'm like, let's go to Goliath. Let's go to Goliath.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and I
it
can
could have
tell that
been
it
a past life. Maybe someone in my family was there in that battle. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
And did you do sessions there? You did sessions there? And,
We've done a couple of sessions at the Mass Burial. We've gotten no communication there, which
Mm.
I'm happy about because it makes me feel like maybe
yeah.
they're at peace and they're not stuck there.
Yeah,
They're not,
exactly. You know, yeah.
but
They moved
yeah,
on.
but at the mission, the fort, we've gotten a lot of communication there.
Mm. Who knows? They could still be fighting that war.
Yeah, and
You know?
I think
Yeah.
maybe they are because some
Yeah.
people have said they've heard gunshots and cannons,
wow.
and that's
Oh,
not
wow.
going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So this is going to be an amazing Global Ghost Hunt event. If you guys want to check out their last Global Ghost Hunt event, which just happened in May, go over to Global Ghost Hunt on YouTube. Go to the live tab. You're going to see all of the videos that from all the investigators. But look up Rootless Destination at the Claiborne. You'll see more of the evidence that we showed. But this year's Global Ghost Hunt, I mean, same year, but this
Right.
event that we're having, because we have 2 a year.
Close to Halloween.
I know, for the Halloween event. And you are going to an amazing location that is amazing for paranormal research. But it's very sad as a person to go there. And I feel for you because I know it chokes you up, as I just saw. And I'm very sorry that, you know, it does that to you. But hopefully that connection will help you help them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
and it may. And just anyone out there who's watching, if you don't know what Global Ghost Hunt is, again, do what AJ says, go to Global Ghost Hunt anywhere.com, Facebook, Instagram, Parapost Network, and just watch all these awesome teams. And these locations are amazing. Some of
Yeah.
these locations are just outstanding.
Yeah. And for people to know, if a team can't say go live, what we do is we have them record for 2 hours, completely uncut. They're not allowed to edit. They're not allowed to do any of that of sorts. And we review everything before it goes up to make sure that they didn't do any of that. And then the uncut footage, because it wouldn't be fair to everyone else for them to be able to review, and you guys aren't. So that's why we
Right.
do that. But check out these teams because it all technically is live, raw, uncut footage. And it's not, you know, like, oh, an EVP comes through. You're going to capture it, you know, just by hearing it. You're going to hear everything they hear in that moment, which is the most important thing, because paranormal investigating, I think showing it this way is the true way. Whereas on TV, it kind of gets a little too fantasized, in my opinion, you know?
Ruthless Destinations.
Yes, Rootless Destinations will be great. Wendy, thank
And
you
we
for
will be
coming.
live.
Wendy is another amazing person, so please go check out AZ Pie. It's you know, they're
Yes.
amazing.
I'm so glad they're coming back with me.
Yes, yes. So happy they're back too at Global Ghost Hunt. So we are so proud of them too, and thank you, Wendy, and everyone a part of that team. But yeah, so we're pumped about it. I know you guys are pumped about it, and you know, we are looking forward to it. What time actually are you guys going on? Like, what time are you guys
We
doing
don't
it?
have a time yet. I told Brian, I was like, you just let me know a time anytime after
Yeah.
anytime after 5-6 o'clock. Just let me get there and get settled.
Yeah, no, I remember emailing you guys to try and find out a time. So I'm glad that you were able to connect with Brian to tell him, you know, all that information, because I was wondering what time we were gonna, you know, put you guys at, and now that's awesome to know that you guys have an open time and you guys are willing to do that, you know, whatever
Yeah.
time, which is awesome. So that's
October
so cool.
21st. I told him anytime after 5-6 o'clock. I just want to get there, get set up, and be ready to go.
Yeah, right?
Tell me.
That's the way every investigator is.
Some time to set up.
Yep. What time? I mean, what equipment is going to be your go-tos during this investigation?
Yeah. What's your go-tos?
This location is so big. Number one, the grounds are huge. I'll probably have quite a few. I'll do the same thing I did at Claiborne House, is I'll set up a lot of stationary cameras, and that's mostly just for our investigation that will continue after the live.
Yeah.
But I'll have a couple of EMFs. Our go-to, to tell you the truth, is ourself.
Yeah.
But I like to use
Right.
I like to use something that lights up or makes sounds. So you'll see a lot of the cat balls. You'll see
I
some
love
REM
those.
pods and that kind of thing. I also got, and I did not pay the $500 or one for this crap. Those light ropes that light up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's crazy how much they want for those. Number one.
I know.
Okay, so what I did was I went online and I found just LED lights that are motion censored.
Yep.
Okay, so I got me a strand of those for $10. Okay,
there you
and
go.
I tested them out. So
Same thing,
don't
right?
spend that $400 on that crap.
Yep.
It's just motion censored lights. So I do have a strand of those, and I think we caught some boot steps. I'd say footsteps, but they were clearly boots.
Yeah.
So so I'm probably going to set up like some bells or something in that area, just if somebody walks through there, we can hear the bells. I'm trying to put something up that makes noise or will have some lights because the location's so big. So that way, if we hear it or see it, we can go to that area.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know. I might have to talk to Brian about it, but they like music.
Okay.
Yeah, the REM pod, the EMF detector was crazy when Heidi and I played music and we danced. Like we were having a party. We were drinking. We were smoking cigars.
We tried that at Old Montana State Prison. I played 3 songs by the prisoners, and we got some light anomalies, but yeah, it was pretty cool to play.
Yeah, it was weird.
Prison.
It was like they were dancing because you could see one would go off and then the other one would go off, and because you have people who speak Spanish and people who speak English that were both at that location. Yeah. We'll also do some questions in English and in Spanish.
I was about to ask you that question because I wanted to ask you, have you gotten English at locations that have had, other speaking languages there? You know what I mean? Because I mean, I've dealt with like certain apps that have used different languages and they've came out English. So I'm wondering, have you had that same thing, the opposite though?
Yeah, actually we have.
Yeah, isn't that totally amazing that on that side it has nothing to do with the voice or the talking because they don't have that vocal cord anymore?
Right.
And I just have this total theory that, the energy, whatever they're sending out to do this, change this audio and frequency to be able to go through the PSB7 and speak to us, whatever they're doing energy-wise with these frequencies is just absolutely amazing. And I hope that one day we can all get down to what the science behind it is so we can find that one frequency that's high enough for them to reach out. Because I have a feeling that when you're playing music, you're raising your vibration, which makes it easier for your body and everything to connect with them. And then it also raises, I think, them too. So it's like you guys are almost like, boom, matching each other in the frequency where you guys are able to get this amazing communication.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
And you're giving them that energy to use as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's
what you're sending out, you're getting back,
But they loved that music.
Wow. Now, what kind of music was
I may not be able to do it live because of the music copyright stuff, but I'm definitely doing it. It'll be on my video.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let me ask you a question. So what kind of music is it? Is it like from that time era?
From that time period. But I got copyrighted when I put my first video out.
Yeah, that's happened to me too.
1800s? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's Facebook for you.
It was stupid.
Yeah, Facebook and YouTube, it's really dumb. I think it's so stupid. It's like, why even bother? But it's that whole
your music.
Yeah, I mean, and plus they act like you're this YouTuber that has 40 million followers.
I know, right?
You're gonna steal the song from, So I totally get it, totally understandable. But we have this problem all the time with new teams that come in. They'll use the regular StreamYard countdown for a parapost, and all of a sudden Facebook will flag it and say they can't use it. It's a copyright. It's like, how can it be copyright? I paid for a professional thing. Like, $50 a month. Come on, know? But yeah, so I totally get your frustration on that. Definitely. I'm sure, watch us get a copyright just for having you guys show your evidence a couple minutes ago,
Probably.
right? Um, but anyway, so yeah, no, I'm super proud of you guys. I'm so happy you guys are coming back. That sounds like an amazing location. I can't wait to watch that live. So I hope that it's not too early so that I can definitely check it out while I'm not at work. So I could
Well, I
definitely,
know, I get that because
you
when
know,
we did the one in May, I caught every team live.
gee,
So
that's awesome.
I was like, it's 3:00 in the morning, bitch, get up and go watch this team. It's serious.
That's awesome.
I was like,
hey, you got to do what you got to do, right?
I wanted to be supportive to everyone and show them, hey, I'm here. I'm watching you.
No,
I know.
awesome.
Because like you said, it's global. So you don't know what time that team's going to come on. It could like 3:00 in the morning you could be at work.
Yeah. I mean, even Raymond down here was part of the Global Ghost Hunt, as you know, Raymond Locations.
Hey, Raymond.
He's going to be out investigating as well. Knew some paranormal. Check him out as well. I'm actually going to be filming and going out myself. So I'm going to be going to the local cemetery over here that I've caught a lot of things that we were actually talking about earlier, and see some things. I'm not going to do it for too long. I don't want to stay out too long up here because we can get trespassed, and I don't need that kind of arrest right now at that time of moment. So yeah, so I'm not going to be out for too long, but I'm going to do something, and whether it's a communication session or something to show my support and do something as an admin. But until next year, I will be going somewhere next year, hopefully. So
I'm already thinking about next year. I was like, where am I going next one?
I tell you, when this event comes up, everyone at the admin team is already waiting for next one, because it's just like everything is happening so quick. Time flies, doesn't it?
It does. It does. You already have to think about what you're going to do.
I know. Like, I feel like we just were talking about May's, and now we're already talking about October's, and it's a couple weeks away, and it's like, what is going on? But anyway,
Raymond says Bobby Mackey's are bust.
No, thank you.
Yeah, well, he's going to Bobby Mackey's, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
Be careful. It's dangerous.
He went with Brian, Patty, and he went with Brian and Patty. I can't.
Okay, so he knows it's a little dangerous there.
Yeah.
Watch your step.
I mean, definitely. I mean, let me ask you a question on that. So, do you believe in negative energy, or do you believe in demons? What do you believe in? I mean, it is negative energy, but in your opinion, what are they? Like, what do you believe in as this negative thing?
I do believe that there's good and bad. There's black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Do I believe in demons? I've not had an experience that would make me say yes to that.
Yeah.
I've had some experiences to where you're like, "Ooh, that's not good." I don't feel like that's a good spirit. But I've not had anything demonic happen to me. But I do believe that there's good and bad. There's black and white.
I think there is too. I mean, John, as we saw always that there's good and bad spirits. And I think a lot of the times the bad ones are the ones that get this rap for being this demonic creature because of the fact that they'll come out and say, I'm a demon. But really, in my eyes, they're just doing it because they're, excuse my language, everyone, but they're asshole spirits.
Yeah, they're just trying to scare you.
Yeah, just trying to scare you. So, I mean,
they're like, get the hell out of my space.
Yeah.
No, they feed off of that fear, that negative energy you put out, that doubt that exterminates from your heart and your mind. That's what they feed on. If you don't have that, then they can't feed on you. You have that positive bubble around you, and you're okay because you're just working in the now.
You know
what exactly. You got to be careful what state you are in when you go into a location.
100%. I'm so happy you said that. People don't realize you can't go into a location if you're depressed, if you're down, if your vibration is low, because you will get attached. It will happen to you. It doesn't matter how much protection you have. I don't care what anybody says. Like, if your vibration is low, yes, you're going to match that vibration and it will attach to you. So I've had it happen, and it's scary. I mean, I know you've had it happen, right? Have you had attachments before?
Me?
Have you had it? Yes. Have you had attachment?
Not an attachment. We've had, I mean, it's happened to Heidi and I a couple of times. We've had a spirit think that they could come for a ride with us, but
Okay.
it wasn't an attachment. The
Yep.
first one, it was creepy as shit. But
Oh,
we went to, and we weren't there to investigate. We were there just doing abandoned locations. We went to an abandoned, it was the first Black girl college in Texas.
Oh,
yeah. We went there. Now, you couldn't go in the building because the whole roof had just fallen in, but we walked the whole property and took some pictures. And so when we got in the car to drive off, we literally got around the corner, and a girl, I am not lying to you, directly in the back seat behind Heidi started laughing. I said, oh, hell no. And I put the brakes on, and I pulled over, and we talked to her for a few minutes and told her that she had to stay. She had to stay at that location. Once we felt like she was gone, then we went ahead and continued on. But that's happened to us a couple of times where there's someone in the back seat.
See, it's good that you caught that, because if you didn't, it might have turned into an attachment.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people would have went, oh, well, whatever. No, not whatever. Get the hell out of my car. You got to stay here.
Yes. Yes. People don't realize that the energy that they have can affect our bodies badly. If it can set off high EMF. Yeah, if it can set off high EMF actually is known scientifically to cause hallucinations, to cause sickness, to cause all that stuff. And I believe that's why, as investigators, we have these moments where we're feeling sick or pain or something along those lines, like they're actually affecting us, you know, electromagnetically, like, and it's pretty wild.
And to feel like maybe how somebody was sick, how they passed away, or like when I was at that cemetery last weekend was a couple weekends ago with my girlfriend who is Wicca.
Yeah.
I felt this pain all of a sudden in my stomach. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, not really. I have this weird pain. And then over the spirit box, you hear somebody say shot and then a gunshot.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So to feel that kind of stuff too, I mean, just listen to what you're feeling, your body, what's going on, and know when to get out.
Yeah, dude. When we were at Old Montana State Prison, dude, when we were by that first gallows outside in the yard there, we heard whistling, and the camera picked it up.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, there's, you know, it's scary because like you never know what is truly following you home, if it is or not, because of the fact of you can't see them. You know, you could feel them sometimes. I mean, if you're really truly a medium or whatever, you're going to feel them all the time. Obviously, if you're that connected or open, even as a regular person. But I mean, when you're not, and you're like regular like us, and you do have empathic skills, you could feel them sometimes if they allow it. Almost, it's like, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah, just think of that energy that has to be used to create something out of nothing into a frequency, you know, into a sound. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, it's amazing that they can do these things, and it's amazing to see all the stuff that we have come out with that they can interact with. You know?
Yeah, it is. It's like they're learning just as we're learning.
Yes. It's really wild. It really is. I mean, for them to be able to now access and manipulate a phone app is like, wow, you know, and if that means they can do that on this little tiny computer, they could do it on a big computer. And I've seen people doing these desktop versions of that app I was telling you about, that we talked earlier about, and getting some incredible things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like if they can use this small tiny thing that's giving off energy, what can they use if we build something with even more energy? You know what I mean? That's what's, you know, wild. But I mean, that's just also scary.
That gets into Tesla's work, right? That we talk about all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wanted to thank you, Melissa, so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
After the Global Ghost Hunt, after the Global Ghost Hunt, when you guys review your footage, we'll definitely set up another date, because I want to have you on and show the evidence you guys caught after the recording and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, hopefully some of the stuff during and prior, just like you did before.
Right.
So that was awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Everyone, when you go back and watch the footage that they sent us, please listen with headphones. It's very
Yes.
important. You'll hear the EVPs. You'll see other things. You'll hear other things that you didn't hear live. So make sure to do that. Chris, thank you for watching. Ray, thank you for watching always. Everyone who's watching right now, thank you guys so much. Melissa, again, thank you. Appreciate your time. See you soon. So everyone, go check out Rootless Destinations. Check them out on Facebook, on YouTube. Check them out everywhere. And please check them out on Global Ghost Hunt this coming October. Okay, it's literally around the corner. We're literally a week or two away from October. Please go check them out. October 21st, she said. They're going to be live, so please check them out. There's a bunch of other teams that are going to be there. And Chris, thank you, man. I appreciate you laughing with us and having a great time. We appreciate that more than anyone knows. And we love when people comment and get involved in the conversation. So please feel free to always ask questions on our show. We'll always try to get to every single one of them, and we normally do. So please feel free to do that. We have on mediums, everything from mediums to all over the paranormal spectrum. So please check us out on all the social medias, on YouTube, and on all the podcast listening platforms. So John, anyway, what did you think, man, real quick, of Rootless Destinations?
Oh my God. That was some crazy stories. Like, I want to go to those places now. I haven't been to Texas since the case in Wichita Falls, man. Like, I always felt there was a deep history in Texas, and I would love to go back anywhere over there. So.
Yeah, I totally feel you, man. I mean, some of the places that they've investigated, like even last time when they were on, they were discussing it. It was so truly amazing to hear some of the stuff that they captured. And even every time we have an investigator, researcher come on, it's always amazing to hear some of the stuff they captured because everyone's captures are different. That's what makes this field so amazing.
No, exactly. And if you hear the same thing, that's like validation,
Exactly. Yeah. And especially if you're validating history that's made for the property that's actually factual known. It's like, how do you debunk that as a person and say that's not real, But anyway,
I've had so much stuff come through the SB7 that I can't debunk. It's like, how can that response come out at the exact same time without knowing when to ask? It's mind blowing, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Absolutely. But guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Again, follow us on all social media platforms, on YouTube, and on all podcast listening platforms. We are Talking with the Source. And a shout out to our other host who's not with us, Robin. Please leave him prayers for him.
Yes, Robin.
And we will see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much.